Alright, Xelyt, we are officially recording.
Okay.
So, considering this is going on my channel and Xelyt's channel, hi to everybody.
Hello, people.
I know most of the people who are going to be watching this are going to be my subscribers. They're going to be like, what is this? And then they're going to be like, Stargate, what the fuck? Why is a Star Wars person doing Stargate? Well,
Because it's awesome. That's
I
why.
hate to disappoint people, but I'm a fan of multiple universes besides Star Wars. I don't actively live in a room that's coded in nothing but Star Wars memorabilia and paraphernalia. I actually have other things I like and dislike. Like, for instance, I like Stargate, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars. Things I dislike: the new Star Wars, Stargate Universe,
Stargate Universe sucks.
a lot of Lord of the Rings fan fiction that includes pornography in it. So I
Oh dear.
dislike it like many things. And I've decided that instead of just being the channel that does nothing but Star Wars, I want to go and talk about other things I like Stargate or Lord of the Rings. If you're a Star Wars fan of mine, or you like Xelyt's other videos and you don't like Stargate, well, YouTube has provided the ability for you to not watch the video.
But
If,
you still should anyway.
perhaps, if by chance you do like Stargate and you want to hear fanboys discuss certain topics of Stargate, well, then stick around and listen. And as a cautionary note, this video, and likely future ones on my part at least, will likely be highly opinionated. If you disagree with my or Xelyt's opinion, you're free to do so. But,
But I will hunt you down.
there's a fine line between differing opinion and nothing but fanboy rage. And I understand fanboy rage, but don't let it become flaming. That's all I'm asking. Just recognize that we're opinionated. These are our opinions or observations. We probably will forget some things. We probably won't remember certain things quite right. If we don't, you can remind us. You can call us idiots, but I probably will ignore that comment.
Probably for the best.
Anything else to add before we get started on the topic?
Nope.
Okay, so
Just yeah. Hope everyone enjoys.
will you stop cutting me off? Just about to say something.
I'm not cutting you off.
You
You're just
always
too slow,
do.
that's all.
Fuck you. Anyway. By the way, I curse. Xelyt probably curses. If you don't like cursing, sorry. Okay.
I'm not.
So about 3 minutes in, or just about 3 minutes in, fuckity, fuck. Anyway, about 3 minutes in, now 3 minutes. The topic of this one is Xelyt's favorite fucking topic, obviously. Is about the very first villain race, I guess, kind of, because most of them are evil assholes, of the Stargate universe. Yes, we'll talk about them briefly. Of the Stargate universe is the Goa'uld, or some people say Goa'uld, or snake people, I guess. I don't know why someone would call them
Snakeheads.
Goa'uld or Goa'uld. Some say Goa'uld. I guess it's like a way of saying, hey, they sound like ghoul, but I just call them Goa'uld. It's a little hard to say, I guess. Some people just Goa'uld.
They're aliens. Who cares?
I guess. But yeah, they're the first villains. I mean, even the movie of Stargate, the villain, although there's some contention amongst the fans on whether or not he actually was a Goa'uld these days, because his movie form looked like a gray, kind of like Asgard, instead of a serpent. But most fans just came up with a theory, and I think even a book said it. Yeah, a book came out and was like, oh no, it was one of the very few Goa'uld who actually managed to get into an Asgard. He took the Asgard to Earth, and then he got to a human body. It doesn't explain why when he's blowing up he looks like the Asgard again, but just forget that scene happened.
There are other theories too, but
yeah, the other theory is that he just wasn't a Goa'uld, and for some reason he was ruling them. Who knows why? If that's true, how did he have sons and daughters? I guess they could have been sons and daughters in name only, as happens, I guess.
It's very confusing.
Raw is kind of an enigma, and luckily, Visitor isn't here because he's a Raw fanboy for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, he really likes Raw. I mean, okay, if you go off of Raw from what is told about him after the fact of the movie, then yeah, he is pretty badass. But if you just go on what Raw is seen doing, yeah, he kind of sucks.
He only had a pyramid ship. That's it.
True, and it didn't even look like a regular Hatak. But anyway,
That guy couldn't even afford a hot tech. Such
nope,
a shame.
not even a regular one. Well, no, I think. Well, okay, I guess it could have been a hot talk, but why was it missing its the metal piece that actually makes the pyramid fly in space?
Well, it's canon now that it's a Cheops class ship, I believe.
Okay, I didn't even read that one.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting caught up on Raw's ship here. We probably should do that.
Why not? It's a cool ship.
It's a fucking flying pyramid. It's not that cool.
Well, that's the whole point of them. Space Egyptians,
Okay,
come on.
I'm just gonna say it right here, right now. The biggest thing I hate about the Goa'uld is their fucking ships. They look stupid.
Okay, well, that's where we'll disagree.
Okay, we can disagree, but I mean, seriously, who wants to see a pyramid flying in space?
I do.
Well, I can't help you there.
Okay, I don't want your help.
Okay, the only ship I think looked alright, just because it was kind of elongated, was Apophysis mothership.
Okay.
It looked alright.
Yeah, that was a cool ship.
It looked alright and made the pyramid in the middle work, but even then,
I would have thought that you would have preferred Anubis's.
Anubis's was good because it didn't have a fucking pyramid in the middle, but the problem with both of these motherships is they were probably in like maybe 2 or 3 episodes, and then they were gone.
Yeah, kind of a shame.
Even Anubis's replacement mothership was only in like 2 episodes at the season finale of season 5. But okay, that's where it means they disagree. Is that the Goa'uld naval ships look awful, in my opinion.
Yes.
And well, okay, we might actually have more disagreements, but we'll find out soon.
Oh goody.
Another just quick preface, who the fuck cares, about this rambling. This is not really a rambling, but it's going to be kind of all over the place, but generally centered around the Goa'uld, so everything else will come later. If you're a Stargate fan, you'll figure it out. If you're not a Stargate fan, be prepared to be confused, because if you haven't watched the show, you can be very confused.
I should check out the show, though.
Yeah, you should. If you're a Star Wars fan, I would suggest watching the show, because it has a very... It's like one of those 90s shows that is actually like really kind of enjoyable. And I mean,
some people do complain that it's too cheap, though. But I disagree.
I can see the cheapness, but if you watch if you watch the show and enjoy it, then when you like watch it for a second or third time, then you're like, you can pick out all the cheesy and cheap parts of it, but you'll just appreciate them anyway. You'll just appreciate them and laugh at them. You won't really go, "Oh, it ruins it for me." And besides, around the end of season 2, they obviously got more money.
Yeah.
Except every planet they go to looks like Vancouver. I mean.
Yeah, kind of confusing that.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of sad because that's obviously where they were filming, up in Vancouver, Canada. But I mean, that was like the only thing where I was like, "Oh, great, another planet looks like Vancouver. Oh, look, another planet looks like Vancouver. Oh, look, another planet looks like Vancouver."
Yeah, it did bother me that the Goa'uld didn't really have any like bigger cities most of the time.
Well, yeah, that's another thing that was cheap, but that kind of sucked. Was the Goa'uld settlements always seemed like they're going for faux medieval or even ancient looking dwellings that they ruled over. And the one place we got, which was Sokar's base planet,
Domak.
Yeah, thank you, I forgot the name. They used that shot for like Anubis and Baal later, with fucking Natu, the moon, still in the sky when both had blown the fuck up. Or no, Natu blew up.
Yeah, to be fair though, I still see it as like the same planet.
Well, to be fair, the Dormak didn't blow up. It just had the moon blow up really close to it, and then it had Apophis crash into it with all the replicators on it.
Yeah.
So I guess they could have gone back, but Natu shouldn't be in the sky. Like I said, the people
True.
who haven't watched Stargate are gonna be very confused.
But hey, there was Anubis's Tartarus planet too for a while.
Oh yeah,
The
Tartarus.
lava one.
Yeah, that worked, but then it was like, yeah, we'll show it for like maybe 2 episodes again.
Yeah.
Atlantis did a little bit better in terms of production value, but I think that the fact it only made it to like 5 seasons proves that even by season 5 its money was running low again because we need to end this show a little soon, guys. Come on.
Yeah, but
I hate
that was a bad
SG1.
decision.
I hate SG1 and Atlantis for the only reasons in that whenever they end their shows in places where it's endable, like you could end it there and people will be satisfied, but you leave open certain stories and people's stories that probably could have been finished in the show and were left kind of hanging dry.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, in Stargate SG1, you get the team that lived way back in ancient Egypt because the idiots went back in time and then they told their future self, or they sent their future selves the stupid ZPM or whatever, and that's how they get to Atlantis, whatever. And it's just kind of like, hey, whatever happened to them? They live their lives,
And that's another thing. I hate how they made the Goa'uld seem more stupider later on. Like they basically lost all their competence.
You reminded me just now that we're supposed to be talking about the Goa'uld, and I kind of went on a tangent about other things already.
Yeah, I thought I'd direct you back in that direction.
All right. But yes, as the Goa'uld went along, season 1 through 8 were pretty much about them, with other villains coming in between as shows like that do. But then by season 9, they kind of got a little goofy, and then by season 10, they were kind of a joke.
Yeah.
Me and Xelyt agree, unlike most Stargate fans who kind of really love Ball, we kind of hate Ball.
Yeah, I mean, he's better than nothing, but,
Ball was good when they first introduced him because he kind of seemed like kind of just the pompous Goa'uld who actually could do his job. And like the one episode where he captured O'Neill and he's literally killing him and then reviving him over and over and over again as torture.
I don't understand why by season 9 Ball had lost like everything. Like I can understand him losing like most stuff, but how did he lose like all the technology and stuff,
Well, when Anubis just disappeared because he's not really dead, and we'll get to that, I don't understand why Ball couldn't just take over control of what Anubis left behind, because with the defeat of the replicators, Anubis pretty much had all of Goa'uld's space under his control, therefore Ball had it all under his control.
Yeah, I mean, Anubis still had plenty of like loyal Jafar too.
Okay, to be fair, the Jaffa were in full rebellion at that point. There were some loyalists, but really what from what I remember, Ball was telling Anubis he needed the Cull warriors to kill off basically the Jaffa or cull them.
But they still had Ashrax and stuff that they never used later.
Here's the problem. Ball was in charge of Anubis's empire because Anubis wanted people to think Ball was in charge. I just remembered now, the only reason why the Cull warriors were listening to him is because Anubis was actually still alive. Once Anubis just left, then the Cull actually did just go crazy and start dying off.
Yeah, which is a shame, really.
At that point, the Jaffa were probably like, well, okay, then no, we're not going to listen to you at all.
Yeah.
Then, by the time when he gets to Earth and he's hiding amongst the human population, and he takes over the stupid trust organization and becomes just basically a rich asshole on Earth, that gets really boring.
Yeah, I don't understand why he bothered doing that. I mean, he easily could have gone to any, like, backwater planet.
Well, going to Earth is smart, in my opinion. I mean, just living amongst the humans. And okay, if he wanted to live on Earth kind of like Seth had, where Seth became a cult leader and kind of lived in luxury amongst the humans.
That's what I wanted to say earlier. Seth is probably the worst ever. in my
you don't
opinion.
you don't like Seth?
No,
Or I guess
no.
for people who don't know, Seth also is the name of an Egyptian god named Set or Seti.
Yeah,
Satesh. Not Satesh. Satesh is a different one. But Seti. Um
yeah.
I have mixed feelings on Set only because he was in one fucking episode. Um uh but no, if Ball, what I was saying was if Ball had wanted to kind of live as like either a cult leader or as just a rich billionaire and kind of live the life on Earth and just like say, all right, I'm just done with everything. I'm going to live my life and not care about anything. But I would have been fine with that. But with him constantly doing all this crap just to piss off the SG1 team and then try and take over people in space again and then make clones of himself. Oh my fucking god, that's what really got annoying.
Yeah, that annoyed me too. Like, how many Goa'uld went without jobs because he decided to clone himself?
Okay, that's not really the point. Yes,
Well,
Ball, the leading Goa'uld cause for unemployment.
yes, it's terrible.
Being a Jaffa or a human under a Goa'uld is not really a long-standing job for anybody.
Well, I mean, it's pretty useless anyway because the Goa'uld all have genetic memory anyway, and they're already trying to kill each other. Imagine
Yeah.
what having a bunch of clones will do.
Actually, the word okay. I guess we can just start off from here. All right. What is your worst Goa'uld? I know we all know it's Seth already, but just explain why you don't like him.
Okay, well, basically, he decided to hide on Earth, which at first is fine, but he stayed on Earth for thousands of years, hiding from the System Lords, and not once did he decide to try and take over Earth. Like, it was even said that he killed his slaves after a certain amount of time and just restarted over again.
Yeah, Daniel Jackson says that Seth basically pops up a few times throughout history under different names. Well,
I mean, yeah,
under different names, but somehow the word Seth is involved. And
he easily,
after a while, he kills off his whole cult for some reason, like several times.
which doesn't make any sense. Like, he might as well try and become like a global cult, you know? But no, instead he's like the worst cult leader ever. He's a Goa'uld, and he can't even get being a cult leader done
I
properly.
guess
And that's just embarrassing.
I guess what's supposed to be implied is that they were somehow getting they were like okay, the thing that he injects them with to turn them into slaves. I guess what they were implying is that they were being shocked or
The Nishtar, yeah.
somehow that it wore off, but that doesn't make a lot of sense because I thought that like literally
I
it could only be
I don't think it
worn
does
off
wear off.
the only way they could cure it was by electrocuting themselves, right?
Yeah, which they would not have had thousands of years ago. At least not
Yeah, so
readily available.
unless they had a what is it? The little zapper weapon.
The
What is it called?
Zat guns.
Yeah,
Zat
Zat guns.
Nicotels.
If one of them had gotten like one of those and was zapping everybody, then maybe. But then how would Seth been able to kill them all? So yeah, it just doesn't make it. Yeah, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. I guess he just liked culling his own cults for no reason.
I guess so.
The worst Goa'uld, in my opinion.
Don't go there, Carl.
Probably Athena.
Really?
What does she do?
Why?
What does she do?
Fails.
She becomes Ball's secretary and then captures Mala, right?
Yeah, Vala.
Vala. God, I'm having brain farts all over the place. She captures Vala, tortures her a little bit, and then that's about it.
Yeah.
And I mean, if we're going off of just who we see in the show, yeah, she does.
Although, to be fair,
she does nothing.
I think she's still alive, though.
Yeah, another unresolved story.
She would be.
But by the time universes come around, years have passed and she's done fuck all, so.
That's true. Which is also sad.
like
Very sad.
the last ball was, I guess he was the original, is removed from his host. So
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
didn't even mention her.
they didn't even mention her, and the only like reference we get to the Goa'uld afterwards in Atlantis is when they try to blow up Atlantis because they don't want the Wraith coming
Oh,
to Earth, and they send them
yeah,
in this Goa'uld
I want
to
to say
fuck with
something
them.
about that.
All right,
That was
before you do,
okay.
I
Okay.
appreciated the callback in that episode, and I appreciated how they made the scene where the bomb is about to blow up.
Sure.
I appreciated how they made that scene edgy and kind of like a callback to how just batshit crazy the Goa'uld are. But
Sure.
I didn't appreciate how easily it was fixed.
Yeah.
But go on and say what you're gonna say.
Yeah. Okay. Well, first of all, I agree with you, but I think that they did it wrong with his Goa'uld because his Goa'uld was so like stupid. Like he basically just I don't even know what to say.
What
You know, he just
having the strength of many men?
yeah, that was just like so stupid.
You don't believe that he has the
Like
strength of many men?
no, no. By all means, I believe he should, but he gets his ass kicked instantly. he doesn't. He
He
doesn't
didn't
even put up
even
a fight.
he didn't even wear the stupid little hand gauntlet they have either to just kind of fight back.
Well, to be fair, I didn't expect him to have that, but he could have had anything like those rings that they
Well,
have.
no, I
He
mean
could have had that.
they couldn't have had him, and then like all of a sudden he just kind of like picks up the gauntlet out of his pocket or something and just uses it while holding it, not putting it on his hand. Because you can do that. You can just
Sure,
hold it up. It's like, oh
sure. I'm
wait,
not saying that
this
he couldn't.
big motherfucking alien is about to kick my ass. Maybe I should have something to throw him to the wall.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
why?
he just kind of goes for the oh shit, I'm about to get my ass kicked. Oh wait, I have the strength of many men. I swear.
But it might like seem like this is nitpicking a bit, but I didn't like the way he said as a Goa'uld. You know,
Um,
do you understand what I'm saying?
as a Goa'uld. Oh,
Because
like
he's
do you mean like how he was basically just kind of like reminding people, oh hey, I'm a Goa'uld. Do you remember what those are?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was kind of like Stargate Atlantis going, hey, do you remember what these are or who they are? I mean, we already reminded you like three
Also,
times in the
like
episode.
the Goa'uld normally like to say that their name, you know, and they like to do the whole "I am your god" thing, but he didn't do that at all,
True, but
which bothered me.
this is around the time of the trust, so I think most Goa'uld kind of became disillusioned with calling themselves gods, and
Sure, I can understand
he
that.
could have been an underlord to somebody and therefore wasn't given the title. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're sent to another fucking galaxy by your boss, it's kind of assumed you're probably not going to come back.
Well, you know, I think that Gold would expect to make it back because they
He
believe
would
themselves
expect to
to
make it
be.
back, but I don't think his bosses were expecting him to kind of make it back. And okay, maybe they were like, "All right, if you make it back, then good job." But they're like, "If you don't make it back, not a lot lost."
Yeah, but you know, like he was heading back before he got
I'm moving
caught.
my computer if you hear anything.
All right,
No, but go on.
but yeah, I didn't like the way he handled himself at all.
He was a one episode villain. Who no one cares about those.
I know, but it's the Goa'uld, you know. I expected more. I expected him to at least, like you said, pull out a hand device or something, anything. Like he could have, like, you know, like at least I don't know, pulled out a bomb or something. You know, like
True.
God.
Well, I mean, he already had a bomb, so.
I know, but
Well, the bomb was the city itself, so
I
I
mean,
mean that
if
doesn't
he's
count.
going, if he's going to screw himself over and get himself killed, the least he can do is go out fighting or something.
Don't you love it how Atlantis is going to like blow up 4 or 5 times and they just saved it in the nick of time?
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm going off topic. All right, so favorite system lore. Go, you go first.
Well,
Or favorite
in the
Goa'uld?
show, I would have to go with Anubis.
Anubis?
Yeah,
Really? Really?
I just
You're gonna make this boring by naming off my favorite system lord at the same time?
well, I mean, the only other person I could go
No,
with
no, no,
is
no, no. Just go with Anubis. We'll talk about the other ones
well,
later.
I got to go with Anubis. I'm sorry. It's just
Okay, so
Anubis is so badass.
since we agree on Anubis, here's a quick synopsis for non-Stargate fans if you've made it 25 minutes into this video. Anubis was a crazy ass underlord who was apparently a very badass system lord that we never saw because it happened thousands of years ago, named Apep, which I found it funny that they used that name since it's basically just a secondary name for Apophis. But
Yeah.
anyway, he
Oh wow.
served under Apep with Ra, and I think was it Kronos? No, I guess it was Ra and
No.
Apophis. Anyway, he was one of the underlords. And he got all close to Apep, but Apep was so old that he actually started to have that Goa'uld Alzheimer's happen to him.
No, what happened was Rug got a bunch of the System Lords together. There was like a few of them.
No, I'm talking about Apep.
Yeah, I know, but
What Anubis did to him, he cannibalized him in front of everybody, and
yeah,
that pissed them all off. And what I was saying was that Apep was like getting to the point where he was getting like really old, and they were mentioning how basically what kind of was happening to the
you?
yeah, what they were happening to you was basically happening to Apep, where he was kind of like basically getting Goa'uld Alzheimer's. He was basically starting to lose his mind.
Yeah,
And
even though they
Anubis
all
decided
already have.
he wanted to seize the throne by basically cannibalizing Apep in front of everybody, which does happen for people who don't know. And I don't mean he was eating his human hosts because they're serpents and they go inside of humans or whatever will take them. What happens is that you tear out the little Goa'uld symbiote, which is like a little eel thing, and then you start to eat it.
It doesn't actually say if he ate the host or not, though.
Well, I thought it said he cannibalized him, but I'll have to reread afterwards. But anyway, he kills Apep, and he's just like, "Oh, now I'm leader," and everyone goes, "No, you're not. Actually, you fucked up bad." And then from there, we're supposed to assume that Anubis just did shit that
no.
even the system lords are like, "Oh God."
Let me just say, you're right. Anubis did eat Apep's symbiote. He did.
Oh, somebody went to the Stargate wiki.
I didn't. I honestly didn't. I just remembered it now. That's all. I'm better than that, Carl.
But basically, the System Lords, when Anubis is reintroduced to the show, well, not reintroduced, but introduced actually, they're like, oh, Anubis was kicked out of the System Lords and exiled from System Lord space for doing crimes even terrible for them. And they were like, really? What do you have to
Which
do
is bullshit.
as a Goa'uld to get kicked out of the fucking, of the Empire?
Yeah.
But I don't know, but apparently cannibalization is one of the crimes he committed. Or cannibalization. Is that even a word? No, it's cannibalism, jackass. God damn it. But the thing with Anubis that really makes him my favorite is that Anubis came back not as a symbiote anymore, and that he changed changed the formula for Goa'uld enemy in the show.
Yeah.
When he came back as partially ascended. If we have to explain to you listeners what an ascended being is, it's going to take forever. But basically, they're Stargate's version of trying to appease the religious people in that, oh, there's kind of this plane of existence where if you become like one with yourself and very intelligent, you'll kind of ascend into an energy being that's not
It's kind of like what happened to Ben Kenobi in Obi-Wan.
Pretty much.
I mean, Yoda.
Except you have godlike powers and are immune to basically everything, basically, unless you're Merlin.
Yeah.
But you don't interfere with anything, and just talking to mortal beings is an offense against them. Oh, and you also have to be good, even though there's bad ones, so the Ascended people we meet are a bunch of self-centered assholes. Yes, they're basically the Jedi. I mean, they basically act like that. Like, they're better than everybody, and yet helping anyone is bullshit.
It is a bit confusing, though, because at first there wasn't any evil ones.
And then they tried to introduce evil ones, and it didn't really work. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But basically, there is one ascended being who is helping mortal beings ascend when they're not supposed to be helping people ascend. Ascension is supposed to come on their own. And what happens, well, what she's doing is basically against the rules, but they kind of let it slide a little bit. But basically, what happens is that Anubis finds out how to trick her into making himself seem good, and she helps him ascend, not knowing that this is a crazy mega Hitler. And then when the rest of the Ascended find out what she done, which I don't know how they didn't know immediately, but once they find out what she did, they de-ascend Anubis partially because I guess they can't put him. No, they didn't
That's
want
one thing I was
didn't-
wondering. Did she know he was a Goa'uld?
No, they mentioned
Did she know that?
they mentioned that he somehow tricked her, that he like found some information on how to trick ascended beings. Essentially,
I wonder how he did that.
I have no idea because it's never brought up again. But basically, what happens is that Anubis is ascended, and then he immediately knows basically everything in the universe because once you ascend, you're given vast knowledge of the universe.
Something like that.
And then to punish this other ascended being, do you know her name?
Not off the top of my head, no.
God, I'm having such a terrible time with names here, and I watched the show. Like,
she's the nature
is it Oma?
woman. Yeah, Oma.
Oma,
That's
yeah.
it. Yeah.
When they found out what Oma did when she ascended Anubis, they partially de-ascend Anubis, but basically he's still immortal. And the reason they do that is to punish her because they know Anubis will go back to doing what he does and killing millions of people, and that's their way of saying, look what you did. You let this asshole become partially ascended, now he's going to go murder millions of people.
That's a real douchey thing to do.
It is. And Daniel Jackson even mentions that, but they don't care. They're fucking god beings. They don't have to give a shit.
As far as I'm concerned, they're almost like worse than the Goa'uld.
On a level, yeah, on a level. And Anubis, the only rule Anubis has as a partially ascended being is that he's not allowed to do anything he would have been able to do as a Goa'uld. So if he couldn't, like, fucking enter a star and blow it up from the inside as a Goa'uld, he can't do that now. He can't do anything crazy, and that's why he has to have other people do stuff for him that if he did, then the Ascended would kill him, basically.
He is allowed to go through walls, though. That's gotta be said. He can fly through objects.
That one, I think, is just kind of like who really cares on the Ascendants?
Yeah,
true. Walls, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But the thing about Anubis is that he actually, unlike a lot of the Goa'uld, was very proactive and not just kind of, I'm in charge, I'm not really going to do goddamn anything. And he basically became like the Supreme System Lord for like, a month or something before they all turned on him again. And basically made him like emperor of the entire empire. But the thing about Anubis that I really love is that this guy, among all the Goa'uld, seems to actually really think he was a god.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Because I like the way he berates Baal, and I think that's even the name of the video on YouTube.
Yeah, it is.
Where he just... Baal is like, well, you could have modified all the Stargates to have them activate at the same time. Basically saying, why didn't you do that? Because I guess it was implying that Anubis couldn't have, therefore if he did, the Senate would come down on him. And he's just like, you have no way of knowing what is necessary and what is not in the grand design. And Baal's like, whose grand design? He's just like, mine! And it's just he's implying that he's literally going to kill all life in the galaxy so that he can remake it, everything in his image, and whatever he wants, basically becoming God. So, I mean, this guy had ambition.
Basically. He went all out.
So, I mean, megalomaniac with, he was a megalomaniac with, mega God complex.
It's gotta be said, though, I think it's a shame that he, screwed over his fellow Goa'uld so much later on.
I don't care.
Like, at first he was... Yeah, but at first he was hiring other Goa'uld to work for him, but then once he got the Coal Warriors, he was just like, I don't need you anymore.
Well, I understand why he didn't trust any of them, because nobody trusts anybody amongst Goa'uld. I didn't care about Ball. What do you have Tannis working for him for a little while? Who the fuck cares about Tannis?
And he's got Osiris too. He hired her.
God, Osiris is one of those characters where it's a male in control of a female's body.
Yeah,
And you feel awkward, and you're just kind of like, why is this happening? Why is this a thing?
No,
And even
Osiris isn't as awkward as Zipacna though.
Zipacna is just rapey. That's his only problem.
He is. He's creepy.
He's played by the guy who plays a douche in everything he's in.
Yeah.
But Zipacna worked for Anubis. We saw him attack the planet that
he worked for Apophis before too.
True, as his lawyer.
Yeah.
That was a funny episode. I was almost inclined to say that what's his dumbass's face? Chlorel was the worst Goa'uld because he didn't do jack shit either, but he did more than Athena, so but no, Zipacna attacked the Tok'ra planet, and then he never showed up again, so that's not really betrayal, that's just lack of anything to do with the character, in my opinion.
Yeah, what happened to him that day? We may never know.
He just succeeded attacking and then went off to go do other things for Anubis, and we can only assume he died in some random battle with another Goa'uld.
I guess.
So in terms of, Anubis did kill off a lot of underlords and under Goa'uld. I mean, that he did do that, but
true.
And then he hated you, and you never liked him, so because he was the only system lord alive who could remember what Anubis did back in the old days.
Can I just mention one thing real quick?
What?
When it comes to Goa'uld stupidity, nothing I think beats that one Goa'uld that was killed trying to ally with that other one when Anubis killed them. Do you remember that?
Refresh my memory.
The episode where Anubis was first sending out the Coal Warriors. And he was killing off other Goa'uld.
You're gonna complain about those?
I'm gonna complain about the guy, the Goa'uld. He gets attacked by a Coal Warrior, and the first thing he does is he goes straight back to his home planet. And then he's surprised when another one shows up to kill him.
Well, I mean, what do you want?
No, that's not even the worst. That's not even the worst. SG1 gets captured by him, and they warn him another one is coming. They warn him, and he's still like, I don't give a shit. And then, 5 minutes later, he dies.
Look.
Just, oh my god.
You can't comprehend the mind of a Goa'uld, okay?
They have spaceships, and he sits on the planet.
Look.
This thing wiped out his entire army, and he still thinks he can stand against it. Another one.
He is a living god.
Okay.
The fact that another living god got killed in front of him does not affect him. Okay.
Okay.
And yes, Anubis is also amazing because he made the Coal Warriors, and he didn't use them more effectively, which is sad.
Yeah. I like the Avatar episode. The video game one.
Oh, right. Yeah, that was good. I like that one too. I think if the Coal Warriors had been around to fight the Ori, they would have done a much better job, but I'm not even gonna go there.
They actually had, in Avatar, they had a cloaked Coal Warrior, which I thought was a pretty cool idea.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's plausible, because they had that one episode where Tok'ra, Jaffa were both on the beta site, and they had to keep the Stargate on lockdown because there was one of their assassins who could cloak himself.
Yeah, the Ashrax. Yeah. There was two of them.
Yeah, and then they had to and then they had to kill him, and the Tokrunja Fall were trying to
What
kill each
about
other.
what about Prometheus Unbound, where Vala steals Cold War armor and, well, spoilers, but yeah, the Cold Warrior just takes out the entire Prometheus. The entire ship is just taken out. That was pretty cool.
But well, Vala does stupid shit. I mean,
I know, but before we find out it's her, it's just it proves that all you need is one Cold Warrior to take out an entire ship. That's all you need.
True. Well, I mean, they have wrist blasters. They're basically super battle droids of Stargate.
True.
And then it's sad that they only get like one callback in Atlantis when one guy's having a bad acid trip.
Yeah. I liked it when they showed up in that, though.
True, but I was kind of thinking, it'd be nice if Cold Warriors fought Wraith, because I think the Wraith would be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But, anyway, we're kind of rambling.
Well, that's what you do, isn't it?
Well, I mean, we covered the main things of worst Goa'uld and best Goa'uld, and we somehow made it to 41 minutes already. And we have been keeping on topic with Goa'uld, so I mean, it's this is fun. I'm just saying.
Yeah. How about we talk a bit about Sokar?
Do we have to? It's not that I don't like.
Is there
Sokar.
anything to be said?
It's not that I don't like Sokar. It's that God, he was the most underused, underwhelming, most hyped Goa'uld there was, and we got shit all for it. I mean,
true.
Okay, this all happened in like what, season 3? Yeah, when the main Goa'uld villain Apophis, is getting his ass kicked and basically calls SG1 for help. And he gets help. Then Sokar makes this amazing entrance where he sends that like weird hologram through the Stargate, and he looks like a fucking demon. And he's like, "You've taken something that's mine, give it back."
That was awesome.
You've taken something that's mine, give it back, or I'll basically blow up your whole Stargate and kill everybody. And they end up actually bending to him, and they know he's going to revive Apophis, who died from his injuries.
Hey, can I just quickly mention one thing again, please?
What? Go ahead.
Sokar's gate-destroying tech was awesome. It's a shame that the Goa'uld never used that again. Because it's the one thing that actually worked.
The only Goa'uld who did something similar was Anubis, and his weapon was a little different.
Yeah.
Because his weapon looked like it was based off of
his
technology.
Thing was gigantic.
Yeah, who the fuck knows what Sokar was using to blow
Sokar's, I'm presuming, was quite small.
Well, no, actually, I think it was explained that he was sending like some sort of heat weapon into the Stargate because he was.
Sokar had plenty of technology.
He had plenty of technology that was centered around fire. Yes, because for people who don't know, Sokar liked to think of himself as the Goa'uld version of the devil, and he was the Goa'uld version of the devil.
Yeah.
First of all, for some reason, his host looked like fucking Emperor Palpatine, except with no hair and younger. The Goa'uld can do this stupid thing where their eyes light up as a human or whatever they're in, which I never understood how that works, but accept it, whatever, it's science fiction. His, for some reason,
it's cool.
All theirs would light up either white or yellow. His lit up red and had this stupid, like, sizzling sound whenever they did it.
Why not?
He wore this weird fucking red cloak with the weirdest hood I have ever seen in my life, where it's just kind of like a circle that you kind of place around your face. And he liked to rub his hand over fire, and he liked to torture people, and he had a whole moon devoted to torturing people.
I remember, like, the original fan theories where people thought Anubis was Sokar, come back from the dead.
Well,
that was pretty cool.
The same guy played him, except the Anubis character didn't have a face, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
True. Some people, that would have been an interesting twist, but I still think it wouldn't have mattered.
No.
Because then he really would be like my favorite. I mean, because Ahsoka had
Yeah.
basically the same story of Anubis. Ahsoka was like the Grievous to Darth Vader.
Yeah, they even said that Sokar was like a Supreme System Lord at one point too.
Yeah, like I said, he's like the beta to Anubis, like Grievous is the beta to Darth Vader. He comes
Yeah.
in, he was banished from the System Lords like Anubis. He came back really powerful like Anubis. He started taking over System Lords people underlings like Anubis does. Um, he was banished like Anubis was for crimes against the System Lords. The only difference is that for some reason the writers of the show decided to kill him off after we've only seen his face for 2 episodes.
I don't know. Maybe they thought he was too violent.
I think that the writers of Apophis got butthurt that he was taken out of the show as a main villain, decided to bring him back as the main villain.
Probably.
Look, I like Apophis people, but God, people who really like Apophis as like the one and only true villain of Stargate, they kind of annoy me because Apophis was cool and all, but really he failed at a lot of things.
Yeah.
The only thing
His gold armor was cool though.
his gold armor was cool, but the only thing he really did to make himself powerful was he took over everything Ra had when Ra died because he was his brother. And then after that, it was nothing but a series of failures and being kicked on multiple sides until SG1 killed off so many of his rivals that he just attained power.
True.
They killed off
Yeah.
Cronus. They killed off Sokar. There was nobody left but Apophis and all the other little System Lords until Anubis came after the other System Lords ate up his empire.
Yeah. I mean, Hera was pretty cool.
Haru was cool, but again, he showed up in like 2 or 3 episodes.
True.
Another problem with SG1 is that there were a lot of cool villains, but they only showed up like maybe 2 or 3 episodes, and they were like, "Oh, what an anticlimax!"
We gotta kill him off now.
Haru being Ra's son and all was cool, but
They could have done more with it though.
true. And then the only like really great cool thing that we got from Haru was that he tried to take over a planet protected by the Asgard, and then Thor shows up and literally starts to zap everybody.
Yeah, that was cool.
And he just starts walking away. He looks at the ship and is like, "Yep, that's happening."
God damn.
Man,
Oh, well.
who the fuck called these people? Man, god damn it.
Oh,
So
he
yeah,
should have known better.
But then you get like, okay, who's the one System Lord? Okay, so like you get introduced to all these System Lords in season 5 when they're like, oh, here comes Anubis. You get Kali, does nothing with her. You get Amaterasu in one of the other earlier episodes, nothing done with her.
They said Bastet and Carly were allied together.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but
yeah, kind of a lesbian relationship there.
Oh my god, I wasn't trying to say anything.
I know. I had to go
and
there.
Kali were the ones who decapitated Sobek. Told you.
Yeah, I know.
But what I'm saying is that we get introduced to even more minor Goa'uld who don't even get like one episode really, and they look cool, but then nothing gets done with them. Oh, you gotta love the one Goa'uld though, Savrog. The one with like the blue tattoos on his face. The one episode he shows up in where
he was pretty pathetic.
The one episode he doesn't even show up in where you hear his voice where he invades that one planet and he goes, I am Zavrog. That was awful.
Yeah.
And then go away, die. Who cares? I'm going to invade this one planet. Not even show up my face. Oh, I'm dead. God damn it.
That reminds me of Ares' attack. where they
Ares?
blow him up with the puddle jumper.
Ares.
Yeah, well, they didn't really talk about him much.
Ares. Let me go find Ares. Oh, wait a minute. Is this what I think it? Are you sure you're talking about Ares?
Yeah, I'm talking about Ares.
They have some weird.
You don't get to see him though.
Yeah.
He,
That's right. You don't.
he-
Fucking goddamn it, Dance.
I'm sorry. you don't get to see him, but he gets blown up by the time jumper.
Yeah, it's death to villains like that just make you really shake your head.
Yeah, they don't even get a second screen time.
Who's the one lady? God damn it, I'm trying to remember her name because she deserves a mention.
Nerty?
Nearty? Not really. Nearty just is weird.
She is.
Okay. I would accept Nearty as kind of like the weird science obsessed Goa'uld system lord.
Yeah.
But when the other Goa'uld imprison her and treat her like a criminal for doing what all of them do, kill each other.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, really? You're going to choose now to become self-righteous.
I don't understand why they didn't just kill her at that point. But whatever.
Because Goa'uld apparently like to torture. I mean, that's obviously, but you know.
I guess, but she didn't really seem tortured, at least not compared to Apophis.
Yeah, no, Apophis basically had one side of his face become melted cheese.
Yeah.
That's an image for you. One half of one man's face is cheese.
Oh dear.
But no, yeah, she just shows up and she gives these hunchbacks superpowers, and
then she gets killed by her own experiments.
Yeah, she gives okay. For you people who don't know Stargate and somehow managed to make it 52 minutes in, this lady gives these idiots who are ugly as fuck because she deformed them the ability to read minds and use psychokinesis and all this weird shit. And her rule is never read my mind. And then guess what? Once they do, they go, "Oh, you really don't like us." Well, no shit. You can't tell me that there wasn't one person in that group of people who were like, "Don't read my mind." Well, what are you going to do to stop me? Obviously, you can't tell when I'm reading your mind.
Yeah.
That was.
I didn't like that episode very much.
That was a dumb episode. Yes. And then she's dead. And, don't kill her. She's dead. No, I wanted to bring up Hathor.
Oh, okay.
The creepy sex goal.
Yeah. She's clearly like got something wrong with her that the other girl don't have.
Obviously.
Like she keeps saying "we" and stuff. It's really creepy.
Well, they made her say "we" a lot because they were doing
I know, but
emperors and kings in the old days had the royal us or something where basically they had to call themselves by a multiple type, like multiple people.
No other girl did that though.
Well, to be fair, she was asleep for a long time.
Yeah, I guess.
And I guess they were trying to infer Goa'uld from the really old days talked in a different manner.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. I could just be trying to pull at strings here.
She sucked a lot compared to Osiris though, like in terms of empire building.
Well, I don't consider Osiris
a
female.
Zapakna said Osiris had gained a lot of power, but Hathor, she didn't really do much at all. Well, she didn't even have her own armor.
I don't even consider Osiris though a female Goa'uld. If we're going by female Goa'uld standards here, Osiris is a man inside of a female's body.
True, but you can't.
If anything, Isis, him and Isis, his queen, apparently like one of the few system lords who actually loved one another, which is awkward. Because then Isis is dead, and then they start.
Well, Apophis loved Armanet.
Did he really though?
As far as I know.
I mean, do you really love someone so much that when they're killed, you basically just go to a harem and have your bitches hang around your throne all day? It's just like, living the life. I mean, come on.
Well, you know, he was very broken up about it.
Yeah. He was so broken up. You know.
He was thinking of her on his deathbed. I mean, come on.
The only reason he gave a shit about Amunet after that point, after she was dead, was to tell Daniel Jackson, "Hey, my queen was in your wife's body, and we did the dirty deed, and now she's dead. How do you like that?"
I don't know. I don't.
And then Heru wanted to kill our child.
Yeah.
Fucking Heru, can you do anything right? God.
That's a good point, though. When Apophis leaves, I think it was, or her left. I can't remember who left first, but you would have thought that they would run into each other in space.
Well,
I'm just saying they both had chips in the system.
Yeah, Heru. I wish they just called him Horus. God damn it.
Yeah.
Heru had the fucking thing thrown through his hand, and he's just like, "Oh shit, that hurt."
Yeah.
But you're right. They should have. Well, no, wait a minute. No, he came in through the stupid teleportation rings. Apophis came in through the Stargate, so no, they don't see each other.
Okay, good
Apophis
point.
Came in wearing this.
Well, no, shouldn't Apophis?
Go ahead.
Who owned Abydos at that point? Was it her or
Apophis? No, it was Apophis.
Yeah. Fair enough.
No one really kind of owned Abydos, but once Apophis came back through and took a bunch of people, including Daniel's wife, I mean, it was kind of like assumed that Apophis pretty much owned the planet.
So,
I mean, his brother did own it before him, and for some reason made that his base world. So,
yeah,
who the fuck?
Pretty shitty world for our base.
Planet?
I don't know. Ra liked it. Maybe it reminded him of Egypt. I guess.
Well, to be fair, not to be mean to the people who live there, because I'm sure they're fine. One of my favorite scenes was when Daniel Jackson, as an ascended being, comes before Anubis and is about to kill him, but then Anubis is like, "Go ahead." Although he didn't have to say it the way he said it, where he said, "Strike me down." It just felt like Darth Vader. It just felt like Darth Vader at that moment.
Yeah.
But he's like, "Go ahead, strike me down, kill me." Jackson's about to do it.
I love when Daniel Jackson's moving towards Anubis. The Jafar shoots at him just to test.
Yeah, and it goes right through him, and he's just kind of like,
Yeah, oh shit.
And then Jackson gets stopped by the Ascended / Oma, and his stupid little human follower who you said shot at Daniel Jackson was like, "You indeed are all powerful, my lord." And Anubis is like, "Oh, that wasn't me, but this is."
Why did he admit that?
Planet. Well, not the
Why
planet,
did he admit it
city.
wasn't him? I don't get that.
Anubis for some reason was a lot more truthful with everybody, because I think he knew that he was untouchable, so he was like, "What's the point of lying, really?"
I guess.
Except for keeping up the idea that he was a god, but at Anubis's stage, I mean, if you look at it face value, he pretty much was a god.
Yeah. It's interesting that he got his super ship back like straight away as soon as he lost the last one.
He probably had one on standby, I don't know. I like how the what were they, the Eyes of Ra or whatever?
The Eye of the Goa'uld, yeah.
Yeah, the Eye of the Goa'uld. I like how they were so important, and then they got blown up with his ship, and then it was just like, oh, that was a thing.
Yeah, now, like, his entire ship is pretty much useless. Like, it can transform and everything, but it can't shoot anymore.
Yeah, we had that super weapon idea for about 3 minutes, and then the writer said, "Oh my god, what are we going to do with this?"
I noticed that the super weapon looked a lot like a ZPM.
Yeah,
if you think about
except it could just shoot out super bursts that would kill a Hatak in one shot.
It really is a shame that his ship can transform, but it can't shoot anymore because of the whole losing the technology sources.
It has regular cannons, but not super weapon anymore.
He tried to use the Quadria, but that didn't work.
But no, don't you remember? Well, yeah, but don't you remember he had the regular cannons because he fired down on the ship coming towards him at the end of the season.
Yeah. Not that that did very good.
Was that Prometheus?
They couldn't even destroy. Yeah, that was Prometheus.
Okay, I thought it was the other one. Never mind.
They couldn't even destroy the Prometheus with all the firepower they had.
Well, its shields
What's
were
up with
failing.
that?
To be fair, the shields were failing when they were going on a suicide run until the drones killed everybody.
Plot shielding was used at that point.
Well,
that ship should have gone up in flames instantly.
3 drones took out an entire replicator ship. What do you want? I'm
just saying that the Prometheus should have died from being hit by an entire Goa'uld fleet. That's all I'm saying.
General Hammond, and everyone loves General Hammond.
I know, it makes no sense.
True.
It doesn't make any sense.
Anubis' attack on Earth feels like a big anticlimax because no one of importance died.
I mean, they didn't even notice he was invading the Earth.
True, and to be fair, like, you have a point. If someone important had actually lost their lives trying to fight Anubis off from or attacking Earth, that would have been a lot more memorable. But as it is, we just kind of got a cool battle, but that not really much.
By all means, the battle was cool. I can't believe that Anubis didn't bother like sending a few troop transports around the world or something.
Yeah, true, but he was worried that they'd found out where the drone weapon was anyways, so he was waiting to see if they actually had it or not.
Well, he wouldn't have to worry about them if he blasted the planet ahead of time.
They already had it.
Well,
they were, and then he was also looking for it too, and that's how the whole search for Atlantis got started. Because for some reason Anubis learned about Atlantis, and he was kind of like, "Oh, maybe I'll find where Atlantis is." Nope.
Yeah.
No, you won't.
There is proof actually that Anubis knew about the Wraith as well.
How's that?
Because in the cafe restaurant scene thing, when Anubis is reading the newspaper, it actually has the Wraith in it when he's reading it.
Really? Where?
Yeah. The Ascended Times. It's on the wiki.
But I mean, like, what does it say anything, or just say Wraith?
It says that the Wraith are invading Atlantis.
Oh yeah, that's right, because Atlantis was already a show at that point.
Yeah. So Anubis knew about it.
That's interesting. That's interesting information, because now you have to wonder what Anubis was kind of considering when it came to the Wraith.
Yeah. That's why I brought it up.
Was he concerned? Was he just like, since he's going to kill everyone in the Milky Way, did he not give a shit? Who knows? That's actually kind of interesting. Considering he could invade anyone's body and take them over.
Another point is, even if he destroyed the entire galaxy, he'd still have to worry about the Atlantis expedition.
True, but with nothing to come back for, why would the Atlantis expedition come back, since there's plenty of humans in that galaxy?
Well, I'm not saying they would come back. I'm just saying he would want to go there.
Eventually, yes, but he'd want to build up his own civilization first.
Yeah, I guess, because, but,
he would be God Emperor of the entire galaxy at that point, so...
But like you said, it would be a problem if the Wraith came back and he didn't have an empire.
Okay, but here's the thing. If the Wraith came back to the Milky Way and he killed all life because he wasn't ready to make new life, what would be the point of staying there?
Well, I don't know. That's a good point.
There's no one to feed on.
But they don't know that, though.
Okay, but you're saying if they came to the Milky Way, what would they find except for a floating black energy being?
That would be interesting.
Who could invade their bodies and take them over and start killing each other, I mean. After he gives them super cancer.
Well, I mean, the Wraith have been shown to have cloning technology. Just saying. They never use it for food, though. Which I don't get.
No, because they have cannibalized each other, but it's seen as very taboo.
Yeah. But anyway.
And
there's nothing else to say.
But your point
about it.
Your point of them being cloned doesn't matter, because if they're coming to a Milky Way full of dead people, what is the point? What, are they going to stay for more humans to just pop into existence?
Well, I mean, well, there's the question, like, do ascended beings get bored? That's a good question.
That's not a question. That's a question for a different episode.
Would Anubis be happy just floating there, waiting for the Wraith to leave? Or would he fight back against them instantly?
Well, it'd be really easy for him. All he has to do is go inside of them and give them super cancer or something.
I guess.
And then even
Anyway.
then, like I said, if he started to make Coal Warriors again after he killed everybody and made new Coal Warriors, the Wraith wouldn't stand much of a chance because they wouldn't understand at first how to fight the Coal Warriors shielding. Once they did find out how to do it, doesn't matter. The Coal Warriors are still hard to kill anyways. And they're not even human, so the Wraith can't feed off of them. They're like,
they might be able to.
But I don't think they'd be able to because they probably.
I don't know if the Wraith can feed off of other animals.
No, I was saying that I think the Wraith wouldn't be able to feed off a Coal Warrior because I think they'd have an adverse effect to the Goa'uld healing properties inside of the host that they were in. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. The Stargate writers would come up with some reason why they couldn't do that to a Goa'uld. Oh, the DNA does not match. It hurts them. Oh.
Although, to be fair, I think it would be interesting if the Wraith... It'd be interesting if the Wraith discovered, like, an infinite food source in the Goa'uld. They just keep feeding off people and then putting them in the sarcophagus or something.
Yeah, if they had like 1,000 million sarcophagi and they kept putting people they fed on back into the sarcophagi, maybe. And then every time the person came out of the sarcophagus, they became a little more sociopathic.
It wouldn't matter, but sure.
Yeah, just come out, fuck you!
That reminds me of that episode with that Goa'uld that was eaten alive.
Oh, you mean Moloch?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, except he wasn't really eaten alive. The thing that was eating him, he just got into, and then he went into the Russians.
Yeah. That was cool.
Moloch has an awesome name, didn't really do much to impress me.
No. In the Stargate EU, it says that he actually survived.
Really?
And went on to serve Anubis. Yeah.
Really?
Because he had the Eye of Tiamat on him in that episode. And
really?
Really? Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much it matters, but
not that Moloch. No, I'm an idiot. Not Moloch. Marduk is who we're thinking about.
Yeah, Marduk, my bad.
Well,
yeah.
That was my bad too. I meant to say Marduk. Okay,
yeah.
Marduk, not such a cool name, but yeah,
No, not so cool. Wait, so who was Moloch then? Moloch was the Hactil resistance Goa'uld.
Moloch was that asshole who
the one that just liked male Goa'uld. I mean, Jafar.
Yeah, who for some reason was really against female Jafar. It's kind
of... hated...
It's questionable why.
He didn't understand... He didn't understand how reproduction worked.
Oh, I hate these. I love my Jafar warrior men, but ew, look at these ones over here. They have large mammary glands.
Yeah. But they even they even ask in the episode, how does he expect to have an army without females?
Well, he just has them rounded up and used as sex slaves, apparently.
Apparently? Although he actually had a female, priestess. So, it doesn't make any sense.
He's such an asshole.
They even kill him off later, only to be taken over by Baal again.
Yeah, like you said, they aimed the missile at him.
Yeah, that was awesome. The Goa'uld are stupid sometimes. They really are.
What is this? Bam!
He just yeah.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Yeah, stupid ways Goa'uld have been killed off. Raw got a nuke to the
they
face, so that's not really that stupid.
no, but
But it is
yeah.
funny because he makes a fucking roar when he's. Anubis doesn't die because he can't die. He's literally in an endless battle with Oma.
Yeah.
Apophis died like his brother, screaming because he falls to the floor. I'm sorry. Every time I think of Apophis's death face, it makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Replicators crawling all over his personal shield, which for some reason they didn't adapt to immediately, like they're supposed to, but whatever.
Oh well.
Hathor.
But yeah, he
Hathor died being thrown into a vat of what looked like fucking acid.
didn't. I find it funny that SG1 managed to like escape the ship, but he didn't even try. He just kind of was like, eh.
He pussied out inside of the bridge.
The
Yeah,
command bridge. Yeah.
Yeah, after the replicators came in and killed everybody. I don't know why. Yeah, you have a point. The personal shield will go with him. I don't know why he didn't try. Then again, the only place he could have run to was probably
Well, no. Supposedly Hattacks do actually have escape pods.
Okay, well then it doesn't need to. Whatever. Replicators. That's why.
Replicators.
I meant to mention this earlier, but Hathor, the crazy sex Goa'uld, I find it very confusing that she needed to mate with human men to reproduce more symbiotes.
Yeah, well, it's because of the blending thing that they speak of time to time.
That really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but okay.
No, it doesn't make much sense to me either, but, you know, just go with it.
And then she has that stupid, like, hormone power where she can turn all males towards her, but hey, if you get zapped or you get off of it, then it can never happen to you again. It's like, okay, your body builds an immunity to this?
Yeah, it was the same as the Nishtar that Seth used.
Yeah. I think they even mention that when they get to Seth. They're like, oh, it's kind of like what Hathor did.
I don't know if it was the same. Like, I don't know if it was a natural ability that Hathor had, or if she was
a natural ability because I think they say it's kind of a queen thing, and she was a queen.
Yeah, I guess.
And the only other queens we see is the one in Anubis's tank, and then the other one is
actually that's not true. They say that Morrigan was a queen.
We see her for one episode.
I know, but still, she was a queen.
Well, whatever. There's her, and then there's I forget how to say her name. Agiria. Yeah. She was a queen, but she made the Tok'ra, so.
Yeah.
Because she was butthurt about being Ra's queen. Who cares?
Yeah.
She was butthurt about being Ra's queen, and then Ra was like, "Alright, well, I'll just imprison you, and then I'll go marry my daughter queen."
Actually, that's a fun thing I'll mention. A little fun fact. In a fan novel, it said that Ageria is actually from the past, and she's actually Teal'c's symbiote that traveled.
That's a fan novel.
Through time. Yeah, it is, but still, it's an interesting fan
fiction.
No, it's not fan fiction. It is actually a proper novel, a Fandemonium novel.
No, but come on, it's not real.
I'm not saying it's real. I'm just saying it was a cool idea.
True, it's a true idea, but you know.
Yeah.
Who else did we see die in ridiculous ways? Oh yeah, well Kronos just kind of got shot in the back and was really lame. He got shot in the back. That
was lame.
He got shot in the back by Teal'c's android version of himself, and then who also died.
How did he die when he's a robot?
I don't know. Just his servos stopped working.
Okay. And they couldn't repair him or anything?
Yeah, okay. Too much trouble.
Okay. That's sad, but okay.
True.
And
true.
I want to mention something. I was a bit annoyed that they stopped using helmets for the Jafar.
Yeah, except when it comes to serpent helmets.
Well,
The
I
serpent
just would have
helmets
liked
don't
to.
look good.
No, but they stopped using them altogether.
Well, you get a couple shots here and there, like when
Yeah, but the only.
when they were activating all the Stargates at once, you got the one shot of the Serpent Guard for some reason just standing in front of the Stargates.
Why is there a Serpent Guard? Why?
I don't know. Someone pretending to be Apophis.
Maybe. That would be
I
a
will
cool
protect
thing.
this gate.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we never get to see like Cronus or you have any helmets, which is a shame.
Oh God, you died in a miserable fucking way. Because you was
He
the
got.
only you was the only Goa'uld who was willing to work with the humans, and he was actually kind of an okay leader. He didn't like randomly seem evil for no reason. He seemed actually a little more helpful, but he's still a dickhead. But then
Yeah.
Replicator shows up and just stabs him. Oh, that's the end of you.
Just stabs him.
Right in the gut.
Yeah.
Just there, he's dead.
Yeah, that was sad.
Such a fucking waste.
You wouldn't
of a
think so,
character.
but it was sad when you died.
Well, it
Poor
seemed like
you.
the writers were really just trying to.
He deserved better.
The writers were literally just cleaning up all loose ends they could because they thought season 8 was the last season, and then we get 9. I'm really disappointed with seasons 9 and 10, to be honest. They just seem like a big letdown to me, because I really don't like the Ori. And then we get cheese balls. I'm gonna call them that from now on. Season 9 and 10 ball is cheese balls. After all, there's a lot of balls in here. Oh God.
Oh, that's terrible. But
It
was
a terrible joke in
I
the
used
show.
mostly Goa'uld tech anyway.
Yeah, and
that was actually in the show.
Yeah,
that's pretty bad.
When they got all of his clones in one room, O'Neill walks in and goes, "That's a lot of balls."
Yeah.
Or it was either O'Neill or the other guy who doesn't get a name.
Yeah.
No, I like him. I saw him in Farscape, but God, that's a show that I wish they had finished on a better note. Farscape, but anyway.
Yeah, how'd that finish anyway? Just as a quick thing. Did that finish okay?
I haven't seen that show since. Oh man.
Okay.
Like 6,
Never mind
7,
then.
8 maybe years ago. But I think they ended it where he was stuck in the ship with the lady who plays Vala in Stargate.
Yeah.
And I think it was kind of left up to your imagination if they ended up like being killed or something, or if they lived on. It's not really clear.
No. Okay.
I probably should give that show another try one of these days, actually.
Maybe you should.
It's been a long ass time since I watched that show. But that's an Australian show, actually. That's weird. I can imagine it was probably bigger down there in Australia than it was up here.
So yeah, speaking about like plot holes and stuff in Stargate, they sure did kill off like a lot of other like minor alien factions.
True. Well, since we're kind of getting a little muddled here, why don't you go ahead and ask what you wanted to ask about Goa'uld fighting other people, and then we'll wrap it up there.
Okay. Well, you got the Ashen, and that's one thing. Yeah, how do you pronounce it? The Ashen.
They say Ashen in the show.
Okay. Well, I haven't watched one of those episodes in a while, the earlier ones, so...
Well, the ones with the Ashen are fun, but the first one's a little boring, but the second one's fun.
Yeah. But they say that they wiped out the entire, like, Goa'uld Empire in that one episode.
You know, I have to wonder if what they meant was that the Goa'uld attempted to attack, and the Ashen basically fought them back. Because really, I can't imagine the Ashen killing the entire Goa'uld Empire, especially since, in hindsight, the writers couldn't see this coming. But we know Anubis was on his way back, so that doesn't seem likely.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I think more or less they can easily fight the Goa'uld now whenever they meet in battle, but I don't think that they just wipe them all out.
Yeah, I agree.
Although now that I think about it,
well, they can't kill Anubis.
That doesn't make sense now because Teal'c shows up and says that he just got done meeting with the Jaffa Council.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that too.
Oh, that episode's so stupid.
How does that work?
Do not have that great technology. I don't get how they would be able to do that.
Well, their whole thing was biological warfare.
Well, yeah, against other humans.
Sure.
Other humans they thought were lesser than them, and yeah, we saw some of their farming tech, and they were utilizing the Stargates and shit.
Yeah, but they even said that the Ashen didn't know that much about other planets.
Yeah, because they didn't have any maps or codes or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I always thought this was kind of evil on Stargate-SG1's or on SG1's part when they gave them the codes to a black hole. They basically assured an entire people will wipe themselves out with a black hole.
To be fair, they've destroyed plenty of other people.
Yeah, to be fair, they are evil sons of bitches, but you gotta assume there's a couple among them who haven't done anything wrong.
Yeah.
Well. I think babies are going to be sucked into the black hole and killed.
I think after they betrayed them, they'd be pretty, stupid to use it, though.
I guess. But, if what you're asking me is who would win, Goa'uld or Ashen, what we know now with Anubis, it's obvious the Goa'uld would win.
Yeah.
Because the Ashen will use biological warfare, okay? Anubis will use call warriors. They don't get affected by that shit.
As far as we know, I guess.
Well, they have the suits on, and they also have their shields on. I'm going to assume the shields don't let bacteria or viruses go through them.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
And we never got to see if their biological warfare would be effective against symbiotes or symbiote hosts. So the Jaffa might still be capable of fighting them off.
The symbiote poison seemed to work rather well.
Did they poison him?
The Tok'ra invented the symbiote poison.
Yeah, but the Ashen didn't have that.
No.
So I'm saying that, their biological warfare, at least at first, wouldn't be able to really work against them.
True. We didn't really see them have any ships or anything.
No, the only ship we saw them have was used for farming.
Yeah. And,
No, the Ashen are really lame. They're really lame. I liked the episode in that, it was a time travel episode, kind of. Not really. It was
yeah.
It was correct the past time travel episode.
Yeah. You okay? Okay.
Okay. Here's the thing with the Ashen. They get the warning about them, and yet what do they do? They still meet with them.
True, but they still did better.
They remembered to be cautious, but it's still kind of what was the point?
Yeah. It worked out.
Well, you have anyone else you want to bring up?
How about the space race episode, Aliens? Just real quick. I thought they were pretty interesting.
Please don't you mean that one race of aliens who came in that ship and abducted everybody and then just left?
No.
Okay, because we don't know balls about those aliens.
No, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the ones that had the prison episode where they had the prison ship, and then later they go into the galactic race, space race. Don't recall that.
You mean those? They don't look a lot like Unas, but they look a little like Unas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they'd be able to put up a fight, but other than that, nah.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to lead into the fact that I wonder why the Goa'uld didn't do a better job of wiping out these other minor races.
A, ambivalence, they didn't care. B, they didn't find them yet because the galaxy is still a big place. Or
True.
C, they are actively fighting them in pockets, but really not really that big a deal.
Yeah, I guess. Okay. There is one thing I want to finish on, if you don't mind.
Just as a quick blurb, that bounty hunter that came after SG1 that one time was like, they made my whole race addicted to this one drug, and now I have to kill you or bring you in.
Yeah.
So
I'll talk about them real quick too, Ashley.
They have conquered lots of people. It just seems to take them a while sometimes.
Yeah. What's your opinion on the Lucian Alliance?
Oh, God. What are they? They're nothing. They're pathetic. They're like a pathetic attempt at first being a bunch of bandits in space, and then they suddenly become space Nazis. Why? Who the fuck knows?
I don't know.
And they decided to take all the Goa'uld technology because Lord knows a bunch of idiots in space can't come up with their own goddamn tech.
Yeah.
We are
Kinda
the
sad.
Lucian Alliance, yeah? And the Ori will show up and kick your ass in 10 seconds. Shut up.
How do you think the Lucian Alliance got started?
Didn't they say, like, a bunch of humans who were once Goa'uld slaves just started taking over tech and shit and
Something like that.
pirates? Yeah. So basically, they're like the after effect of being under the Goa'uld for so many years as humans.
Yeah. But it was said that
they just become assholes.
But humans are not taught how to use Goa'uld technology, though.
Well, you always have some Goa'uld have the one human who acts as like their chief guard.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say that my theory is that they were probably from Delmac, Sokar's planet.
Well, yeah, you gotta imagine some of the planets where the Goa'uld have like kind of more technology, and they have humans all over the place. The humans do kind of have to learn how to do some things.
Yeah, I mean, Sokar's planet is the only one I can think of that was like industrialized.
I was thinking actually more that they were saying that the Jaffa really weren't allowed to learn anything, because from what we see, the humans. Some humans that the Goa'uld rule over do know more tech, but the Jaffa are really kind of just like, oh no, it's magic.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, it's not like the Jaffa don't control their own ships and stuff.
No, they just think it's magic.
Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of iffy what you do and do not want to.
Which is a good question, actually. Do the Jaffa all control their own like attacks, or do they have like minor Goa'uld using them?
They usually have a minor Goa'uld with them, but I gotta imagine there's gotta be some ships where there's just Jaffa on them.
Yeah, you'd think so.
But the Jaffa are so zealously fucking loyal, it doesn't even matter, really.
I guess.
Like, when they had Teal'c and he was being tortured by that one Goa'uld, he was just randomly on that ship, I guess, so...
Yeah, just why not?
And then the other dude, the other Jaffa, kills him after a while, after Teal'c teaches Dart.
I mean, they even said that there were other minor Goa'uld on Apophyse's ship.
Yeah.
So... yeah.
And Anubis had a lot of minor Goa'uld, and several he killed for little things. My favorite is the engineer on his mothership when they were trying to fix the ship with the Naquadria or whatever. And he's like, alright, we'll see if this works. It doesn't work, and his ship actually blows up a little. And Anubis just turns, kill him! And then you see the guy turn like, what? It's like, I'm sorry, sir. I told you I don't know if this will work.
Anubis doesn't like not having results.
Yeah,
Good.
He's a stickler for failure, and his human bodyguard just loves killing people for him. God, that guy was such a smarmy asshole.
Yeah, he's I remember now that his name was Harak, the Jaffa guy.
Harak.
Yeah. Do you remember who he originally worked for?
Harak?
Yeah. Before he went with Anubis.
Oh, that's right. He did work for somebody else and then showed up again.
Yeah, he worked for Khonsu, who was a Tok'ra.
Khonsu.
I like to call him the metrosexual Goa'uld.
The metrosexual Goa'uld?
Yeah. Look up his picture. You'll know why.
Really? I'm not sure
look him
about
up.
that. I'm not sure.
I want
about
you to look
that.
him up.
How do you spell his name?
Khonsu.
Khonsu. Sorry if you hear me typing, people. I know it sounds awful. Oh, right. That asshole.
Yeah. That one.
Well, I mean, he did learn that he was a Tok'ra, and then he killed him, so I gotta assume that's why Anubis was like, oh, you're actually really good. I'll make you my my bodyguard or whatever.
Yeah, why not? But yeah.
Everyone who's wondering, an hour and a half into this, Tok'ra are Goa'uld, but they were birthed from Egeria, who was Ra's queen, but she hated Ra and slowly started to become good. And then basically because of genetic memory, all the Tok'ra are good, and they see the Goa'uld as evil, and they want to make the symbiotes kind of a better people. They have relationships with the people that they enter in because they do have human hosts.
Yeah.
But the Goa'uld basically almost killed all of them.
They keep coming back though. I don't know how.
They must have at least one queen with them somewhere.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? I mean, how many times were they wiped out? Like at least 2 times.
At least 2 times in the show.
They were just genocided twice, and they still came back somehow, despite having a low population to begin with.
Yep. Yeah, the Tok'ra Rebellion didn't really do that well.
No.
Ah, man. I also like how the Tok'ra went and gave Jolinar to Carter's dad. He lasted like maybe 1 or 2 more seasons after that, and then it's like, oh, Jolinar's getting old and dying, so am I. Well, that was worth it, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was worth it, right?
It wasn't Jolinar, was it? No, Jolinar was...
No,
Jolinar
it was
hers.
Yeah. No,
His was somebody else. I forget his name.
Yeah, I forget his name too.
It's hard to remember all these names.
It's hard to remember the alien names.
Yeah. Anything else you want to mention about the Goa'uld? I mean, we are an hour and a half into this.
Not really. I mean, not that I can think of. Except for maybe, like, they didn't really have that many, like, ship classes, if you want to talk about that.
They had the Hatak, they had whatever Apophis' mothership was, they had Anubis' mothership design, they had their bomber class, they had their
Actually, that's one thing I want to mention. I think it's a shame that in Continuum they didn't give Baal his own flagship. They just gave him Anubis's.
Yeah, because somehow Baal going into the past would make him capable of stopping Anubis. Whatever.
Yeah, how did he stop Anubis? How did that happen?
I don't know. He threw Anubis into a black hole.
I guess. It's the only thing I can think of.
That doesn't even matter because he's an ascended being. He just crawled into a black hole.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess he used the Merlin weapon against him. No.
Well, that would mean that all the ancients would be dead. Actually, that's a good question. Are ascended beings affected by time travel? If they're on a higher plane?
No, they probably just are like, oh, look, that happened. That's funny. I don't know. All immortals kill each other. Oh, God, they're assholes.
Yeah.
Oh, I should probably mention too as another funny thing. You remember Anubis's son, quote unquote?
Yeah, I like that.
God, that was such a fucking waste of an
It
opportunity.
was a waste. It really was.
Kalik, man. Okay, I understand that he served the purpose of showing the SG1 team how they could help, or how they could like use him to learn how to understand to fight the priors of the Ori, and basically
Yeah,
he was slowly on the path to self ascension,
I
and he
would
had all these
have.
cool powers.
I
But
think I know where you're going with this, and I agree. I think that having Kalek would have been a lot better than having Baal.
if Kalik had managed to get through the Stargate and like he started his own, like he like renewed the kind of Goa'uld thing. He wasn't a Goa'uld. He was a human with all of Anubis's memories,
Yeah,
but he was also on his way to ascension. So I mean, he basically would have been a continuation of Anubis, except full on ascension because he got on his own, and
yeah,
he would basically be a god being in the galaxy, and he would have been like a new threat on top of the Ori, which would have been like, oh shit, how are we also going to stop him and the Ori? And I think that would have been a lot more interesting than just having him go through the Stargate, come back out the Stargate, act surprised, get shot, smile, and then die. Although I did appreciate that when he was being shot and killed, he was kind of smiling. I did appreciate that.
yeah. I mean, Kalek actually was pretty menacing. Like when Daniel Jackson was talking to him, and how he was like talking about like the pleasure of killing people. That was
True.
creepy.
And
I
remembering
like that.
all the millions of people bowing to Anubis in the ancient
Yeah.
times, yeah. But I don't think you need to call Richard a dick. I just think he enjoyed it.
It
Dick.
remembered. It reminded me of that time that Baal captured Adria,
Adri. Oh
and
yeah.
and yeah, and he like told her that like his eyes glue again, and that was pretty cool. I
If
just
he had actually done something while inside of Adria, that would have been cool.
yeah
Because I mean, he was in control of Adria's body. This is a
yeah
person who literally has superhuman mega powers,
yeah.
who
I'm just
has
saying that
all the
I
knowledge of
like
the
it.
Ori, but no, he enters her body and he's like, "Oh, it's taking all of my powers to stay in control, and
Yeah.
I can tell you all this information and tell you that the Ori are all dead and shit." But no, y'all don't want to listen to me. You just want to get me out of her.
Yeah, I liked it when they let the Goa'uld have like a little tiny bit of a comeback every now and again.
Wasn't it kind of awkward? And I think we're gonna end kind of after this. Was it awkward for you? Because it was awkward for me when they try to remove Ball and he does that poison shit where he kills the host and he started to kill Adria. Where
Yeah,
she said she was ascending and she was like getting like all happy and shit. It kind of seemed like it kind of seemed like a woman who was almost like in a happy state of giving birth. It was like, what is this emotion you're trying to give me here, lady? I don't know what you're doing.
I don't know.
She was acting all creepily happy and also like heaving and huffing because she was dying.
Okay, I don't remember that,
It was
but
weird. It was very weird. It was awkward.
I believe you.
And then she comes back as ascended fire bitch. So,
Yeah,
um,
it would it it really would have been interesting to see more fighting between the Goa'uld and the Ori, though.
yeah, but with the way the show was going, the Goa'uld would have got their asses kicked.
Yeah, but still, I expected a bit more
I would
resistance.
have liked it how if it was Anubis versus Adria, but
Yeah, or at least Kalek. At least Kalek.
yes, yes, because they even have that stupid one episode where that guy who killed Teal'c's mom is in, and
Yeah,
he has all these Jaffa under him because they're the Jaffa who want to listen to the Ori because they actually do think that they're gods. And they like even make a point of saying he has a bigger fleet than any Goa'uld has had in whatever thousands of years. It's like, really? This one
really?
Jaffa formed a fleet bigger than all the other fleets in history, and just he gets killed by Teal'c.
That's bullshit.
Can you imagine? Because I mean, like if Kalik had done that, I would believe it. I would believe that they'd all
Well, yeah, I mean,
in light
a
of the
Goa'uld,
Ori.
with
in
like
light of
Ori powers.
in light of the
Yeah.
Ori invading, I would think that the Jaffa would kind of have a uh
Yeah, I know what you mean.
they would like
They
almost
they they did the same thing with the replicators. When the replicator invasion began, they called it the
yes,
Scourge, and
yeah,
they started
because
joining up with the
yeah,
Goa'uld again.
well, that's what I mean is that I would imagine that with the Ori invading, they would have had like a reversal of their idea that the Goa'uld weren't gods because they're like, oh shit, we need something to believe in to come together and fight against an enemy. The replicators are
Yeah,
basically like demons to them. The Ori were like invading gods. Half the
especially
Jaffa joined the Ori, so it doesn't even make any sense.
no, it doesn't make any sense at all.
Baal had maybe a few more followers than he did before. That's about all we get.
Yeah, I mean, why would they join up with the Ori?
If
I mean,
Caleb
I get.
had managed to
Yeah.
get out and like had the Ori powers and was like, oh no, I am your true god, Anubis, or if he like wanted to call himself Anubis or whatever, and he's like,
Yeah,
I will
whatever.
lead you against the Ori, having all of Anubis's knowledge on the ancients, having his ascended being powers.
Yeah.
It would have been amazing to have this kind of Goa'uld slash Jaffa resurgence fighting the Ori fighting the humans and the Jaffa, and just in this three-way conflict. It would have been amazing, but no, we have to
Yeah.
kill Kalec off in the first and only episode he gets.
It really sucks. No, it really does. I mean, I thought the guy that played Kalec did a really good job.
He did good. I saw so. I think some people see him and kind of make fun of his kind of over the
Sure.
top evilness, but I mean that's one of the enjoyable things about Stargate is just how over
That's
the
one of the
top.
enjoyable things about the Goa'uld in general, is their over the topness.
True, just look at Hathor.
Yeah. But, yeah. I
Alright.
mean,
I think about what an hour and 40 minutes in, we should probably call it a day.
yeah. Alright.
Alright, well, people, if you're still here somehow, made it, and you find this interesting, Xelyt, why don't you go ahead and plug your channel for my people?
Okay, well, yeah, you can all visit Xelyt Gaming if you want. It's where I play mods and other games.
Spell out your name just real quick so they know.
Xelyt.
Okay. So yeah, go give his channel a little bit of attention. I mean, don't give the guy too much attention. I mean, he doesn't deserve it that much.
No, of course not.
No, I'm just kidding. But hopefully you get a little more attention from this. So yeah, if you enjoyed this Stargate rambling or discussion slash rant about what we love as nerds of Stargate, the Goa'uld, then, you know, I hate saying it. Like, comment, subscribe, fuckers. No.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't care if you like or subscribe. Just leave a comment on what you think about the Goa'uld. Do you know what Stargate is? If you don't, and you find yourself interested in this long ass video, go watch it. Go watch SG1.
Yeah.
Go watch SG1 in Atlantis. Never ever watch Universe. Never.
Yeah.
Do
And
not
feel
watch
free
Universe.
to ask me any Stargate questions you might have. I'll be happy to answer them.
Yeah,
Just saying.
he'll troll my comments section in case all the questions get asked there.
Yeah, I will.
But yes, never watch Universe. In fact, if someone hands you a DVD of Universe, burn it.
Burn it. Burn it. It's terrible.
Fuck that show.
It's not even Stargate. It doesn't deserve the word.
It's meandering through space. The show. God.
I'd rather watch Voyager than Universe.
It's like an awful version of Farscape, because Farscape made meandering through space fun. That show made it boring as shit. Oh, don't forget, this lady's a lesbian, because she has to keep reminding people she's a fucking lesbian. Oh my god.
I was so disappointed in the beginning when they had like the Hatak show up and stuff.
Yeah, and for some reason the CGI on it looked really weird, and it was controlled by the fucking Lucian Nazi motherfuckers.
I really wanted a Goa'uld remnant. Would it have killed them to do that?
Yes, because I guess the writers at that point were sick of the Goa'uld.
Well, damn them.
According to the fans ranting on forums everywhere, nobody else was, but whatever.
Oh, wow.
Stargate had a good thing with the Goa'uld. It was like, it never got old because you have all these gods in our history you could make an episode about. Make
Yeah.
up something, make a new enemy show up. They never even brought in like really any Roman gods. They only like maybe mentioned them in passing.
They didn't even really like have the evil guys fight each other very much.
Not very much, and when they did, it was kind of one-sided. One was always kicking the ass of the other.
Yeah.
Um,
Replicators, anyone?
and yeah, the replicators came in and just wrecked everybody's shit. You know, if it wasn't for the replicator invasion, the Aura invasion wouldn't have been that easy. But goddamn, replicators always gotta come in and ruin things.
Yeah, we should definitely do some versus again another time.
Another time. But anyway, we kind of went off track again. This
Yep.
was the first episode of my Stargate videos. I will make more later. I don't know if Xelyt will always be available for them, but Lord knows if I ask him, he will.
I
show
will
up.
try to be. I will try.
So, yep, check them out. Stay around. Look at my other videos. I don't care. Tell me if I'm horrible. Tell me if I'm great. I don't know. But I will talk to you all later. Say bye, Xelyt.
Bye.
Peace.